Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel and welcome to another edition of HCW Show Squared, the show's that usual format or formula of the now defunct HCW Show podcast as part of the power of, you guessed it, 2. I'm personally as normal, Dan DP, or as it all say around the hood nowadays, DPZ, yeah. And I'm of course joined by my regular co-host, Mr. Impact Craig. How you doing?
You know me, it's that MIC, Craig, aka Mr. Impact. I'm all good. As I said before we started recording, so I decided to watch NXT Wednesday morning because I had a feeling some stuff was going to go down. Turns out, pretty much spot on about that. Holy moly.
Some things did indeed go down and left a bit of an impact, shall we say.
Yes, there was some crossing of lines.
Yeah,
on both
absolutely.
sides, on both sides, the forbidden portal, prohibited portal.
The prohibited portal, the forbidden portal.
Yeah, whichever Jordan Grace calls it.
So, these is for NXT on the 9th of July. This is the post Heatwave show. By the time this goes out, of course, I would have done the review that I did with Nikki for Heatwave has gone out. That would have been yesterday. But as I'm recording today, how was Heatwave for you before we get into this?
Better than I was expecting. Honestly, some absolute bangers. Even the main event surprised me. Even though I did fall asleep during the main event. Like, I was in and out of the main event. I made the mistake of, whilst during the entrances and the promo packages, I fell asleep. Sorry, I wasn't intending to. I went and laid on the couch. Big mistake. Comfort is the enemy in pay-per-views. Comfort is the enemy.
Comfort is the enemy, absolutely.
But I made it just.
So what was your match of the night?
The tag title match.
Ah, okay. That's fair.
Loved it. Loved tag team wrestling. It had everything for me.
That's fair. For me, it was OFME and Wesley.
Fair.
Because there's nothing I love more than a small man getting thrown up by a big man.
Did that.
But no, like I said, those were a very solid match, and me and Nikki got in a whole conversation about who would be best suited to taking down OFME, because right now he's the unassailable monster of NXT.
There can be only one, and that is Moose. Trust the system.
Honestly, I'm down for it. But I mean, he did say he's against it, because I think he said he didn't want to disrespect like Nigerian like culture or something like that.
That was until I think after Heatwave and Moose said, "Tell your boss to get in touch with my boss, and we'll sort this out."
Ah, fair enough.
Tell Chef Michaels to get in touch with my boss.
To get back in that kitchen and start seasoning. But no, Moose and OFME sounds like a pretty good match. I'm not a huge Moose fan, but I'm sure OFME he'll put on a good match. I mean,
Be a hot fight.
yeah, exactly.
What needs to be.
As long as it results in Moose falling into a trash can, I'm okay with it.
That is a way around. So I was thinking of someone else. No, that has happened.
Yeah, it was Cedric Callahan, I think.
Yeah, I said that, yeah. But I was thinking of when Ace Austin hit the fold and Eddie Edwards lifted the can up and Ace Austin went straight into the can from the fold. It looked sick, like honestly incredible. But yeah, brain is not working. Brain hasn't connected yet.
Yeah, no, mine's not either. Like I said before, we started recording, I'm sick, I'm tired, I need to sleep. But, operating on what little I have.
Content is king.
Exactly. But, as a disclaimer, there'll be some bits in this show that I will, what's the word? Pass on to you, because there are some service on the show that I think you can give more gravitas to than I could. And I think you know what I'm referring to.
Yeah. Hello, everyone.
Ah, what a weird greeting there you got there.
How are you doing?
So, NXT, 9th of July. We kick things off with the new NXT champion, Ethan Page. He's accompanied by security. It's basically just a post-winning title promo for a heel, where he talks about winning a heatwave and that everyone hates him. He talks about how he hasn't got time for little delinquents, which I thought was a bit of a alternative word to something later on. But even that does prompt Ora Mensa to appear and try to get to Ethan, but the security deal with him. He makes a pledge that he won't let any of these outsiders try to get try to get the title and ruin everyone's day. And we're officially out of the whoop that era and now in the era of ego. Of course, though, out comes Trick. He wants a rematch, and Ethan denies it.
Thank you.
Out comes Sean, not Michaels, Sean Spears. For some reason, I didn't write the surname. Who he expects some gratitude for inadvertently helping Ethan win. Ethan does thank him. He's like, thank you. It's very civil. Sean Spears then focuses on Trick. Out comes Javon, who calls Ethan and Sean names because he's a child. And then the fists are thrown, with Javon and Trick standing tall. And I wonder what this will lead to, player.
I believe we might be in some sort of tag action.
It could be, or it could be a one-on-one with the Undertaker.
Yeah. So wait and see again.
It's one of those two.
Yeah. But either way, I believe this would be a good match.
Yeah, it could be. Yeah, very, very much so. What did you think, by the way, of the promo?
Excellent. Ethan Page is one of my favourite talkers. Like, from TNA, I didn't really see much in AEW because he didn't do much in AEW.
Yeah.
But Ethan Page is one of my favourite talkers. Yeah, I thought he was excellent. And thought it was over with the Trick thing and Spears thing, and Javon, but I guess it's not quite done yet. Or maybe it is, but maybe it's not. Maybe it is. Maybe it's a different 3 challenges.
Yeah, I mean we'll see, I guess, but I'm assuming the main goal is to, blow up and act like I know nobody. But other than that, I'm assuming the plan is to go back to Trick. I'm assuming. Because Ethan, to me, I mean, I want to say he seems like a long-term champion, but he seems more like a transitional champion, which is a shame because it's gonna transition from Trick to Ethan to Trick.
Yeah. Page is it's his first major singles title, and like it should be a good one, but who knows?
Yeah. But we will see, I guess, because we're only a few days of him winning it, so we really can't judge it off of 5 days since he won it.
And Summerversary is in Canada.
There you go. But alas, we move on to the first match of the night. Carmen Petrovic against Ariana Grace. Carmen wins with the spinning kick, which is akin to the Robinson Special, if you're familiar with that.
Mm.
It's like the ultimate spinning kick into the side.
Yeah. Yeah.
Post match, Fallon Henley is here with a beatdown on Carmen and Carmen only, as she proclaims that she hates these rookies, while in the vicinity of Jasmine Nix, who is also a rookie.
Yeah.
But I guess she's a cool rookie because she hangs out with the cool kids. I rated this 1.25 stars. It was a sub 3-minute match, practically a squash. I don't recall Ariana getting much offensiveness at all. And if she did, it was a stark contrast to her performance at Heatwave. A match that was there for the sake of being there, despite it being set up at the PLE or pay-per-view, whatever. And I'm also not sure what the plan is still for Fallon, along with JC and Jasmine. So ultimately, a match that was there, and I have no progression on anything.
Nah, can't really say much about it because it felt like it was over before it even started, really. That's unfortunate. NXT seems to be falling back into their older ways, which is a bit. You don't need that many matches on a show. It felt like it dragged this show, to be honest, apart from the little parts that made me really pop. But yeah, fine. I like Carmen, I like Ariana, but
Yeah.
didn't feel like it had much opportunity to do an awful lot.
Yeah, that's fair. Absolutely fair. And like I said, I think they only got like 2 minutes 30 something, which is ridiculous from a feud that you could set up quite well here. And pardon me. It's just something you can build more on, and something that you probably should, because you're a developmental brand.
Okay.
But
yeah, exactly.
I get there's an overarching story with Fallon and JC and Jasmine, who's not a rookie apparently. But ultimately, I don't get it. At least not yet. I don't get it.
Now, this seems to be like a Mean Girls thing. It's just
Yeah.
basic.
But I hope it's more than that, because that's a bit basic.
Yeah.
Like, it's cool because they've got an aesthetic and it looks really good. But ultimately, the reasoning and the objective of the group is to berate women who have their shots at titles that they don't get. Like, but yeah. After this, we move on to a backstage vignette. It is the Brooks Jensen sit down with Ava. Brooks this is sort of like an employment review. The way this is done, like you go and sit with your boss, and they talk about the things you've done over the year. It's like, you're doing really well, or you're doing actually not that well. Do you need a referral to somewhere, or do you? Like, oh, you might be in the race for a raise or something because you're doing so well. But no, Brooks is reflective on his past and everything he's done over the last few months, and he seemingly regrets it. Ava is a proper professional. There we go. Like an employer or boss as well, and does inform Brooks that she and Shawn Michaels were close to releasing him. However, some people have vouched for Brooks, and so he's got a second chance. He says that he won't let them down. I guess that was okay.
Yeah, pretty standard stuff.
Yeah.
Nothing really. I don't know what I was expecting, but I don't know if it's necessarily that. Hey, it's cool.
Yeah, I think I'm not sure what I think, to be honest. It's just kind of there at this point, and it's like, you promised us something, so you've got to deliver it, but you didn't know what you were delivering.
Yeah, like, I mean, fine. We'll see what happens, which didn't take very long, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah. Speaking of what happens, we go into the second match of the night, which was for the NXT Heritage Cup. The holder, Tony D'Angelo, taking on Lexis King. For those who are not aware, this goes under the British rules format. So there's 6 rounds at maximum of 3 minutes each with 30-second breaks. It is revealed at the start of the match that Eddie Thorpe is also here on the balcony, dropping some sick beats on the decks, I guess, because he's a DJ. Okay. Round 1 ends 0-0 as Tony has a Boston crowd locked on, but nothing comes out of it. Round 2 ends 1-0 Tony as Lexis gets distracted by Eddie's DJing and eats a forget about it for the 3 count. Round 3 is completely silent on my feed because it was an advert break. It was an advert round. So while I can't hear commentary, I also didn't hear Eddie Thorpe DJing. So plus, I guess. Round 3 though does end with a drive-by knee and the coronation, and Lexis does get a 3 count, making it 1-1. And round 4 ends 2-1 to Tony, and Tony wins and retains the trophy with a counter of the coronation and a head hit in the spine buster. I rated this match 1.5 stars. Fuck me. This was a direct spit in the face of what the Heritage Cup is and what British rules are. And what it means in general to wrestling and its history. It lacked anything that was remotely good. Actually, no, that's a lie. Tony's got a good spine buster. But other than that, it had nothing going for it. It was lackluster. I found it quite dull. Plus, you had Eddie Thorpe DJing, and they tried to spin it as Eddie's the reason that Lexis lost, when it really wasn't. He had basically no effect other than the first DJing bit he did. And
No.
to me, and this might come a bit controversial, this was the absolute drizzling shits, and the worst Heritage Cup match I think I've ever seen. And I had to watch the Von Wagner one with Noam Dar. Like, this was horrible. Did you enjoy it, Craig?
Not as much as I have previous matches. I like Tony D. I like his run so far. This one, this wasn't it, but we knew that as soon as the videos were exchanged from Lexis King. Like, Eddie Thorpe thing confused me. What we're doing here? Like, why is Lexis King getting a shot at the Heritage Cup? I do have a like that every time Tony D'Angelo steps in the ring, he's defending the trophy. Yeah. I like that. It's just it's basic, but it works.
Yeah, exactly.
And beyond that, what? Surely there's more people on that roster you could give a shot to. Surely.
I don't understand it. On Heatwave, you had Lexis talking about, yeah, I like American rock and roll, man. And he's like, yeah, I don't like Eddie Thorpe's EDM DJ and stuff, man. And he's like, also, I want to challenge Tony D for the Heritage Cup. Yeah, man. And then Tony's like, yeah, all right. I'll challenge you. I'll defend my trophy against you, even though you've not earned it or done anything remotely close to earning a shot for it. And then we get to this match, and it's just like, why is Eddie Thorpe playing the DJ deck? Like, and they've tried to combine a feud with a title match, or say a trophy match, and it didn't work. Like, Tony's fine. Like, Tony's not the issue here. Like, he never should have been in this at all. Like, this is between Lexis and Eddie battling over their music taste for some reason, and ultimately it should end in the return of DJ Z taking on Man Mountain Rock. If you remember, do you remember him from Raw, like late 90s?
No, I can't say it.
Oh, fair enough. He was like a big dude who wore like tie dye and he played the guitar.
Okay. Wasn't the worst gimmick we've had on Raw, but
I remember him because I had his autograph.
okay.
But yeah, I was severely, and then I watched it this morning. That's how so it's still fresh in my mind how much I hated this match. It isn't even like I watched this like a few days ago. It's like, I've calmed down since then. No, I'm still actively not happy with what I saw.
No, I'm not feeling that one.
Anyway, we move on swiftly. Backstage, it seems that Brooks Jensen has already gone against his talk with Ava as he attacks Javon Evans backstage. In comes Josh Briggs, though, who reveals that he was the one who vouched for Brooks and got him a second chance. And then he sort of sends him away saying, is this going to affect me for helping you? That sort of thing. So, yeah. The cogs are turning, the wheels are spinning, etc., etc.
I don't believe he did that. Can't believe he did that.
I know.
But, I can at the same time.
It's a shame. I really wanted to believe in Brooks Jensen. I had faith.
It's one of those, isn't it?
It is one of those.
I just can't think I can't think who's gonna be in this. If Javon's not cleared, then who's gonna take his place in a tag match?
Yeah, no idea. I mean,
it
could, I suppose I believe it could be Josh Briggs. I mean, he is right there.
I can't believe you said his name.
Backstage, we see Chase U. Thea is hyped, and the others are seemingly thinking strategy, but not too joyous. But in comes Ridge, like the excited Welshman he is, with opportunity. He sees a lot in Thea, and has arranged a match with Izzy Dame, with the potential of Thea getting to face Roxanne Perez, should she win. That's pretty cool, and good for Thea. He's also set something up for Duke Hudson, and Duke can't wait to face Ethan Page. However, he's not fighting Ethan Page. He's fighting Omar Femi for the North American title. Which would be cool if Omar wasn't a towering monster who demolishes every single person he's faced with relative ease. Which Riley does call out.
I mean, at least Ridge is doing stuff for the group.
Yeah.
Like, it's bittersweet, that one, isn't it? Like, got a title match, but it's
a title match. That's the good news. The bad news is it's against the big monster of NXT who hasn't lost since coming on.
I'm altogether good with it. I like how this is going.
Oh no, absolutely. Yeah, I'm the same way. I just really like open matches. So
yeah,
like put him in the ring with Lexis King, who he's already fought before, and he'll just demolish Lexis King, and I'll be like, yeah.
Yeah, I'm altogether good with it.
Yeah. So we move on now, back to the ring. It's time for a tag match. Gallus, Mark Coffey, and Wolfgang taking on Tyson DuPont and Tyreek Egway. This is the match that's been set out for the last few weeks with backstage attacks. Gallus win with the flapjack and big boot combination on Tyson for the 3. I rate this 1.5 stars. It was slightly better than Carmen and Ariana, but again, a 3-minute match that didn't really serve any real purpose other than to just be there for the sake of being there. It was kind of boring. And honestly, not all that. Considering there's been multiple backstage fights between these two teams. So why wouldn't there be more of a back and forth encounter? Like a bit more evenness in the match before Gallus ultimately win because they're the more experienced team. Like, this is 3 minutes of Gallus just beating them up. I don't get it.
Yeah. From the very little I saw of them, I like Tess and Tariq.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, I like just tag teams who are they're big boys and they'll just fight you. It's not very often you see that anymore. And yeah, I'm want to see more of them. Seen enough of Gallus, so I've got no real. I'm not exactly in a rush to see much of Gallus. Although I do have a feeling they might pop up in TNA at some point. But yeah, it was there.
Yeah.
Spent weeks building it for it to be over before anyone even gets a chance to get anything started.
Yeah. And not to get a bit too spoilery, but Gallus are confirmed to be on NXT next week in a match.
Yeah.
So, not saying who's against us yet because we'll get there, but. But first, we've got a backstage interview with Trick Williams. Trick finds out that Javon's been attacked and that he might not be cleared, which means that Trick will be by himself, which he don't mind doing, but then he realises he may have to find a partner soon. And then there's a weird visual glitch on the screen behind him. I don't know what that was.
Who knows?
Who knows? The next bit, I will hand over to you. This is about Wesley.
Yeah. So obviously we knew at the end of Heatwave that Wesley wanted to address his future on NXT this week. So he comes out, talks about his match with Obafemi, puts Obafemi up, saying Obafemi was a better man, and then starts to lean off in a direction of that maybe he's taking some time away again. And then crowd are chatting, no, they don't want it to happen. And then, as he's about to say those words, some familiar music hits. It took me a second to realize who it was, until I heard all I got was SK, because the crowd were popping huge. And then, and out comes Zachary Wentz and Trey Mother from Miguel. The Rascals are in NXT. Both from saying they can't believe we're here. Wentz getting a welcome back chant, which I liked. And then Zach Wentz tells Wesley that he doesn't shouldn't be going anywhere. Blah blah blah. It's time. We got MSK back together, and it's time the Rascals run roughshod around NXT. And then the Rascals hug it out, which is mind blowing. Like, because especially considering how Wentz was fired, and now he's back as Zachary Wentz at TNA. Trey Miguel, he was told by WWE that they're not interested, and then now he's in the middle of the ring as part of TNA, and the Rascals are back together. Like, honestly, I had no idea. I managed to stay off social media Wednesday morning to avoid anything, just so I can watch NXT. I jumped out of my seat when I saw them both walk out. Like, I love the Rascals, and because after Jordan Grace made her appearance on NXT, and obviously then everyone was talking about what's going to happen, who's going to go where and stuff. A Rascals reunion was on top of most people's lists.
Yeah.
And it's happened.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and obviously it is when it's Wentz and Lee, it's MSK. When it's all three, it's the Rascals, and I like that.
Yeah.
But oh my goodness, that was everything. And I just hope we get Wesley in a TNA ring at some point, which I do think will happen, particularly with what's going down in TNA at the minute. But
yeah,
I love every part of this. The Rascals are just, they've all come a long way as well. They've all done a lot since the time they split up.
Mm-hmm.
Trey's the two-time X Division champion. The TNA Tag Team champions. Wesley is one of the greatest North American champions of all time, and Wes and Wentz are one of the best NXT Tag Team champions I've seen quite some time. Maybe his current run of the current champs might change that, but he'll certainly go down as one of my favourites. And they won the Dusty Classic for crying out loud. They're on fire, and they're back together now. And I cannot be more excited for this.
That's fair. That's absolutely fair. Like I said, there were certain bits I had to pass to you because I was able to express the pure emotion that you are with this sort of thing. I've got to say though, I did see a tweet the other day, and I've got to just quote it because it is something that I am slightly, thinking about. As much as I try not to be, I'm slightly concerned about the NXT TNA relationship. I get TNA's place in the pecking order, but concerned.
Wise words there.
Hmm.
Yeah, it does. I am still a little bit concerned.
Yeah.
Particularly when it comes to Jordan Grace, Joe Hendry. When it comes to, because it doesn't seem like a fair balance.
Mm-hmm.
All this, like, we get TNA sends them. I said main event, but it's something I said before in one of my videos. But I said main event because trying to if you know, then try and avoid spoilers if we can until we get to the main event. But like star quality and star levels, we're not getting match for match here.
No. So at this point in time, we've gotten Jordan Grace and Joe Hendry in the Battle Royal, and I guess Faye Kazarian. TNA have gotten so far Tatum Paxley, Izzy Dame, and I believe Chai Dempsey and Miles Bourne.
Tavon Hutz was on this week
as well. Yeah.
Wasn't it,
so
was there?
I mean, I know NXT doesn't necessarily have the big names, but I don't know. Sending Jordan, Hendry, hell, the Rascals now, like 4 of your arguably biggest names in the company.
Yeah.
And you're getting NXT sort of C+ players.
The NQCC I don't mind too much.
Yeah.
Because it feels like we're on the right track.
Yeah.
Again, it's no disrespect to Tatum Paxton or Izzy Dame.
Mm-hmm.
But when they walk out, they don't get an awful lot of reaction
Yeah.
because people aren't familiar with them because they only get 3-minute matches on TV on NXT.
Yeah.
Like this, Izzy's match this week on NXT. Oh, sorry. Izzy's match this week on TNA is the longest Izzy Day match I've seen. Singles match. Like just send Fallon Henley. You know, send. I don't know.
There's two literal choices you could use in WWE that are veterans. There's Natalia and Mishin.
Yeah. I mean, could even send the New Catch Republic.
Yeah. Yeah.
There are options there. It doesn't feel. But again, like I said in that tweet, I get where TNA is in all this.
Whoa!
I understand it.
It's your tweet.
Surprise! Yeah. I get where TNA is in all this. I do. I'm not blind to the fact that TNA and NXT unfortunately aren't on the same level, but only because of the TV. Everything else, TNA is above it in my opinion. But when it comes to TV, I mean, yeah, it's. I said I do want to do a full video on this because I've like but it's just.
I think at some point it'd benefit if we did some sort of tier list.
Yeah, I think so.
Like not necessarily of like who's gone like between companies, but I mean just like a TNA tier list and an NXT tier list.
Yeah,
and just have a look at those. Yeah, and like see the ratio of who like the big stars are to the not so big stars.
Yeah, because like we've basically sent them, or they basically sent us our version of Jody Threat. Very good in-ring wrestler, not quite at the star level yet. If Jody Threat should have been NXT, I don't think anyone will recognize him really.
No. For the record, I would.
That's because of the team.
I would because I watch Canadian wrestling.
Yeah. Okay. But again, it's all down to TV time with these wrestlers. If they get more TV time, more people know who they are, and but yeah.
Like I don't mean this as a dig at her because I appreciate she's reinvented herself and her character, but even Ash by Elegance has more relevance than a Tatum Paxley or an Izzy Dame or whatever. And I know she has the WWE main roster exposure, but she was never really that.
Former 24/7 champion.
Oh, of course. Sorry.
So, you know.
And of course fell over on WrestleMania ramp.
Yes. Yeah.
Or Mandy.
Yeah. I think it might be Mandy.
It's one of them.
Yeah, they both all the same gear, so it's difficult to pick one out. And I think it might be Mandy.
Oh, fair enough. I thought that was Ash.
I'm gonna have to watch that because I need to find out. So, yeah, might be. I actually don't know.
But to go back to the actual show, that hug as well, that group hug at the end, like that was a proper hug.
Yeah, they genuinely haven't seen each other in months.
I mean, surely they hang out like outside of wrestling.
Not as much as you think. And, I mean, when Trey won the X Division title and MSK won the NXT tag titles, they had to get their picture on FaceTime. Yeah, it's not as much as hope.
Yeah, I suppose back then that would have been when McMahon was running WWE. Or no?
Ye- Well, Trey won the extra title. I think it might have been during lockdown, to be fair.
Oh, then definitely Vince running the company.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I know Vince is very against
That's
that sort of stuff. Like you can't go to other companies and be seen there.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think now,
Well,
I think now Trips that Hunter doesn't really care about that sort of thing.
no.
As long as you're wrestling for as long as you're wrestling for WWE and are on screen for WWE, you can show up at
Yeah.
fucking Bloodsport like Shayna Baszler and wrestle at Bloodsport like Shayna Baszler.
And the Creeds.
Yeah.
Who was it that got fired from WWE for showing up at TNA audience? One of the Highlanders.
Oh, Rory. Or the other one.
I think so.
I can't,
Or
I
no, I
can't,
think his real name was.
I can't remember everyone's name.
Yeah. It was the one. Yeah, it's one of the Highlanders that got fired from being in the crowd at TNA.
Wow.
Yeah.
But yeah, before we go on too much of a tangent, because I did this with Nikki a lot during the Heatwave review, we will go back to the show. Backstage is an interview with Ethan Page and Sean Spears. Both men are very over as the crowd cheer, and it's definitely not a carryover from the previous segment. They believe it will be. No, seriously, they on screen. They're kind of going, yeah, woo. Like,
Yeah.
they're so over.
Yeah, it can't be the fact that Ralph in the ring, can it?
No, not at all. Who are these TNA guys?
Just one more thing before we do move on. Is that in TNA, when someone from NXT shows up in TNA, there's no NXT chance.
Yeah.
When someone from TNA shows up in NXT, they're a TNA chance. So, just gonna leave that information. You do with that information what you will.
I think, and it might be a bit weird to say actually, because I know typically indie fans would watch more WWE than the other way around. But I think within the space of NXT, there's more fans who watch TNA and other indies than people within the TNA audience who would watch NXT.
Yeah, I mean the TNA faithful. It feels very cult-like.
Yeah.
Like once you're in, and
I feel like, and that applies to quite a few indie like audiences. Like there's like these cults and like these cliques of people who only watch
HCW being.
Oh yeah, they absolutely are like that. But they only watch either that one company or just indie companies, and they refuse to watch the mainstream.
It's like I've always said, if TNA goes away, I'm not watching wrestling anymore.
Yeah,
I just can't.
Yeah, but the show.
But yeah,
the show.
if it ever happened, hopefully not. But yeah.
But I won't have a co-host anymore. I just go back to doing it solo.
Well, let's just hope TNA stays around. I mean, it's outlasted a lot of other companies, so I think we should be fine.
To be fair, whoever being solo again, the videos would like go down drastically in length, because when it was just me, it was like 20 minutes. Yeah, whenever host on, it's always over an hour.
Yeah. Chatting.
But yeah, so Ethan Page and Sean Spears have a little evil laugh off because they believe it'll be a handicap match now because Javon is out, which is a fucking shame. Because Javon is re-talented for his age. We will know to the ring. Thea Hale taking on TNA's latest WWE acquisition, Izzy Dame. It's, of course, Thea who wins, following Tatum Paxley interference and a series of moves that leads to a Kimura lock, which leads to a submission victory for Thea. I rated this 2.25 stars. Another short match, but it was less of a squash and more competitive. Plus, it continued the story between Izzy and Tatum, even if I'm not sure what that story is. Also, it's nice to see Chase U get a win, and just generally Thea getting a win, because she don't get too many of those. Of course, post-match though, Owen Theory turns up to play some sick beats. I'm joking. But he's on the balcony to deliver the news that he will destroy Duke Hudson. And Duke replies with a very heartfelt promo. Like, he was, like, he had a fire in him. To basically say, we shouldn't underestimate him.
Yeah. Match was good. Can't really pick out too many faults besides the timing, but okay, if you want to see Izzy Dame go about 10 minutes, then you can watch TNA.
Plug.
Well, spoiler alert, she didn't win the Knockouts World title.
What?
But yeah, love Thea Hale. Love Chase U. Yeah. I mean, there's not an awful lot I can say on it. Like, it's just a good match, like, for the time they were given. This thing with Izzy and Tatum. Okay, let's see what happens.
Yeah, for sure. Backstage.
And I'm looking forward to that next week as well.
Okay. Yeah.
Looking forward to that. North American title match.
Absolutely. Backstage, the Rascals are hanging out when they run into Gallus. Gallus aren't so sure what to call him. So Wes explains that when it's Wes and Zach, it's MSK. But if it's all three, then it's the Rascals. But, Craig, I've got a question. And I feel like you might have the answer for me. What if it's just Zach and Trey? What they called them?
The Rascals.
Oh, okay.
Well, they're not using the full word rascal. It's RSCL.
Okay. So they're called RSCL then.
Yeah, it's also the strain of their weed they're selling.
Ah, lovely.
Which makes sense. Like, that's good marketing there.
I have no idea about weed, so I can't comment really.
I mean, it's the Rascals and they're selling weed. It makes a lot of sense.
Fair.
Very good marketing from them.
Gallus say that they're sick of the TNA people coming in and even indirectly mentioning Joe Hendry, but opted not to say his name. So why's cool? Backstage in the GM's office, Ava reveals that Javon is not cleared, so that is official. He's not cleared, and if he is, it'll be Javon against Brooks next week. Josh Briggs is also there, and he says he wants Sean Spears. But that's not necessarily given right now because she wants no interference in the main event from Briggs. Stevie Turner, who's also here, suggests that if Trickley's a partner, why not Josh Briggs? And then Robert Stone turns around, laughs, and says, I can't believe you'd say his name. Craig, how did you know?
I want it to be.
Craig, how did you know what did you say earlier?
I'm just on this, like, Robert Stone, Mr. Stone, we're on the same page. We get each other.
Yeah. Were you also in the Bromans? Are you Jesse?
Maybe. Actually, No, if I was about to say I'm Raquel, but I don't know if anyone will remember Raquel as part of the romance, or who Raquel even was. If you do remember Raquel, 1,000 points to you.
Good job. So move on to the next match, which is a tag match. OTM, Bronco Nima, and Lucian Price taking on Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows. Bronco's currently in his JC Jane phase. He's wearing a mask. OTM win with the Release Alabama Slam on Anderson, which I thought was quite the upset. I rated this 2 3/4 stars. This is okay. As time went on, OTM have improved, and while I suspect that being in the ring with Gallows and Anderson may not like stars in comparison, I suspect they've also just improved themselves. And that's the only note I had.
I mean, no, I had was that it's kind of cool how typically if you lose a member, it can like almost what I'm looking for can hinder a faction, but they've lost a member and they've seemingly gotten better.
Yeah,
like they've seemingly improved, and I'm again NXT have quite a few of these big boy tag teams.
Yeah,
and it's again, it's the only match of like OTM that I don't know, TV match anyway.
Yeah. I'll say that. I think it was
yeah,
No Mercy last year. They had a 4-way tag team match that they were in that I quite enjoyed.
And I think they were in a 8-person match at Vengeance Day against the family.
Maybe. I think maybe, yeah.
Yeah, but again, that was such a long time ago now.
But you know, for the record, Reginald or Scripps, sorry, was the weak point of OTM. He was. Like, the other 3 are all improving, and Scripps was meant to be the one leading them, and he wasn't a good leader. So they got rid of the dead weight, you know, and then now they've improved. Yeah, they're definitely much better. We go backstage again on a weird phone recorded video. Fallon Henley complains that complains about Sol Ruka getting the North American title shot at Heatwave against Kalani. Sol then praises Kalani and doesn't really understand Fallon's complaints. She wants the world to see that she put in the work, and after that it is time for another match. But before we get into that match, we go into the parking lot, and the No Quarter Catch crew are seen throwing somebody in the trunk of a fucking car. Where's the police? Why is no one launching an investigation into just the parking lot of NXT? So many crimes happen in the parking lot.
Yeah, and they had a witness to it, so as well.
Yeah. Ren Sinclair was literally in the area and probably saw what happened. But now she's developed some sort of amnesia and she can't remember anything.
I wonder where the NQC are off to.
Who knows? All I'm wondering though is who was in the trunk, and was it Damon Kemp? Oh, sorry,
Gotta have been
Damon Kemp.
Miles Kemp. At least I won't have that problem again.
Miles Osborne. No, that's his name. Sorry, Damon Osborne. Charlie keeps saying mistakes won't be tolerated in NQCC. So I think off that basis alone, it probably is Damon. Damon.
Yeah.
Who is presumably in a bag in the trunk. Or is just in the trunk. I don't know.
Yeah. Didn't know any.
Anyway, we go back to the ring for that match I mentioned earlier. It's Sol Ruka taking on Fallon Henley. Sol wins via DQ after hitting a Soul Snatcher, but attacked by JC Jane and Jasmine Nix. Again, Jasmine Nix, the rookie. 2 stars I rated this. I would normally rate this higher because I'm a fan of both Fallon and Sol, and there's no real reason why they couldn't have a better match, but it was the DQ ending that soured me on it, and also the short match length. It was about 5 minutes, or I think just shy of that. It was just a short match, and it's a bit of a shame because I feel like these two could have a decent 10-15 minute match.
Easily.
So
Very easily.
I feel a bit a bit let down by this match.
Yeah, I'd say that's fair. Like it was seemingly going really well. Like I was enjoying it. I'm a bit up and down on when it comes to Sol Ruka, but he's slowly winning me over.
Yeah,
and it's unfortunate that I'm not always a fan of a DQ finish. This one I didn't mind too much because at least it has a reason behind it.
Yeah.
Soul's winning me over. Fallon, I'm really liking the side of Fallon Henley.
Yeah.
Very redevelopment of Fallon Henley, the character. Like it's, even though it came from strange circumstances, she's made it work.
Yeah.
Making it work.
Absolutely.
And whatever happens with this Fallon, JC, and Jasmine Nix thing, Jasmine Nix is going to be a star.
Yeah, she is. She is.
Yeah, and this group could do do a lot of good for her.
Yeah. And I'll keep drawing comparisons to it because it reminds me of it so much. And one of the members of that group are in this new group. This is not exactly like, but it gives me vibes of Toxic Attraction. Yeah, sure, there's no Mandy and no Gigi, but JC's still there. Like, you got this group of, like, well, Mandy was the veteran, and JC and Gigi were the rookies. Like, who are being raised in profile because they were with Mandy. This, to me, is Jasmine being the rookie, being raised, and Fallon, to an extent, as well. Like they're both being raised by being affiliated with JC. Because JC's been there a while. Like, it...
Yeah.
To me, it just feels like that. It feels like that's what they're doing. They're raising profile through JC, which makes sense because she has the profile for it.
Yeah, it's a good way to do it as well.
Mm-hmm.
Like factions typically are a good way to build up people.
Yeah, I mean, just look at history. Like there was that young guy Batista, and that Randy Orton. You know, who knows where they are now? But
yeah, and they had Raven's Flock with someone called CM Punk. Sounds like a job guy to me, but you know,
strange name, yeah.
And Alexis Laree, who goes by the name, I think, Mickey James.
Oh, why change your name? I prefer the original.
Yeah, I haven't seen much of them since. But...
Yeah, shame to be honest. It sounds like their potential.
Yeah. well, Raven.
We go backstage. An NXT anonymous Twitter post shows Tatum Paxley talking to a doll while delivering a Shakespeare-level sonnet of a speech. It's talking about how girls don't want to play with people like Tatum, but Tatum wants to play with them, or play with their dolls, or something like that. She's basically just obsessed with Izzy Dane because Izzy is a blonde girl who she thinks she's cool. She's like, I want to play with Izzy, but Izzy don't want to play with me. And then she throws the doll on the ground. Oh no! But someone picks up the doll. It's Wendy Chu. This is riveting stuff.
You know what? Like, Tatum Paxley should take comfort in the fact that Izzy Dane essentially copied her.
Mm.
She did something she did.
Yeah, literally, yeah. You know, I saw Tatum do that. I want to do that too.
Yeah, you know.
You face Jordan Grace. I face Jordan Grace.
Although if I had to pick out the two matches, I'd say Izzy's was slightly better.
That's probably fair. But seeing Wendy Chu in this now, Tatum Paxley and Wendy Chu could be a little tag team. They seem a bit similar.
Yeah, if it gets Tatum more TV time, fine.
Yeah.
Like in ring time anyway.
And right now Wendy is fighting Carly Bright for some reason. I don't know why. And her friend Kendall Gray, who I'll keep mentioning, so I remember her name. But other than that, and she'll appear? Kendall? But no, yeah, just interested to see what happens with Wendy and Tatum there potentially. Backstage again, Ava and Stevie have conducted a meeting with Cedric Alexander, and Cedric will officially be in NXT, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, that's great for Cedric.
Robert Stone, on the other hand, though, he's not happy because they seem to have done this behind his back. And he's got his own signing for Ava, which is Ashanti Adonis, Cedric's tag partner. Yeah. They literally teamed on, I think, main event.
Yeah.
I think also one episode of Raw.
Yeah. Like, I generally, until you mentioned it when I asked a few weeks ago, when we started this, I didn't know who Ashanti Adonis was, but now I know he was in Hit Row.
Hit Row.
And I just had a thought. I didn't want to have, because now it's an actual possibility, and that Ashanti Adonis could join First Class with AJ Francis and Rich Swann. Oh no! Why have that? Why, bro?
Top dollar hitting that top rope meteora.
Awful.
Top dollar, more like tope dollar. Sorry. Right. We are now officially onto the main event. And like I said earlier, there are bits I'm going to hand off to you because I feel like there are things you can do better than I can in this particular conjecture. So, for the first time in Show Squared history, will hand off the main event to the co-host. Craig, take it away.
Oh dang. Pressure. So I think come back from a break, if I remember rightly, and Sean Spears is already in the ring, which interesting choice, and Ethan Page is almost done with his entrance.
He's champion, by the way.
So yeah, Sean Spears is the champion. Like, pretty much done with their entrances. Then out comes Trick Williams.
Whoop that trick. Whoop that trick.
Yeah, just stands in the ring waiting for whoever's partner's going to be, because we have no idea.
Josh Briggs.
There have been absolutely no teasers throughout the entire show. We have no idea who his technical partner is going to be, unless you hear the crowd pop in before any music's been played.
Because he has to he has to stand there. And I didn't think about that until you just said that.
Yeah.
So it's
at least put the lights down. At least put the lights down.
fucking hell.
Yeah. For a good 5 seconds, he has to stand there until someone says his name. And he appears. Of course, it's Joe Hendry. Of course, it's Joe Hendry. Huge reaction. No promo this time, which surprised me, because typically Joe Hendry gets a promo at the start of each match. But not this time. Yeah. Honestly, a decent tag team match. Trick started it off with Page Spears, one of the two. It would have been one of the two. But we don't really get a "Whoop That Trick" chant. We get a "We Believe" chant. Like, this is a thing I wanted to say earlier, that this match, and this is a hill I'm willing to die on, is that Joe Hendry is the most over person in that match. He is the star of that match.
Yes.
It's just how it is right now.
Mm-hmm.
And arguably the better wrestler in that match as well. But so I think Paige is in the ring, I think, with Joe Hendry outside the ring, when onside Oro pops up again, and Paige and Mensis brawl for the crowd, leaving Joe Hendry in the ring with Sean Spears. The match ends when Joe Hendry sends Spears out to the outside. Trick Williams hits the trick shot, throws Spears back in for Hendry to hit the standing ovation. That big ass choke slam for the 1, 2, 3, and Joe Hendry, TNA superstar, is standing tall in the main event of the NXT TV after pinning a former number one contender to the NXT Championship. There's a saying I never thought I'd say, but yeah, decent tag team match, and Vic Joseph made a point of saying, referencing if we've got another face in the title picture, and so maybe by, I don't know when the next PLE is for NXT, but maybe at Slammiversary we will have Joe Hendry will be the first ever TNA World Champion and NXT Champion.
Who knows? Who knows? But
yeah,
I mean, I'll get into my side of things for this main event, because it's a match ultimately, so I've got to give my opinion too. I rated it 2.5 stars. I can't lie, I really wanted to find a way to enjoy this match, but outside of atmosphere, it was a bog standard tag match. And it didn't really have much else going for it. Because, and this may be a bit controversial, Joe Hendry is a standard wrestler. He knows how to wrestle and can do it fine. But that's just it. He's not outstanding. I wouldn't say he's great in the ring. He's just fine. Otherwise, I can absolutely see and share in the appeal for Joe Hendry. Because he's a great person, like great character work as well. Like, it's just in the ring, just how I rate my matches. His work is not that prestigious. It's, you know, if I would rate matches 5 stars based on everything, I'd rate something like MXM and Dango and Breeze 5 stars. Because I love it all. But because I do it by in-ring, that more likely to be like a 2.5. Like this. Like, but yeah, it's, I get it. I do get it. But match-wise, I don't have much hope for a good match. Because I'm assuming we're going towards Ethan Page and Joe Hendry. I'm assuming that. And if that is the goal, I'm not particularly hyped for that match. Other than the potential like custom music video that he might make for Ethan Page.
No, I get it. You know, and the build to that would be great as well because they're both good talkers.
Yeah, exactly.
That'd be the promos, great. Yeah, the songs. Like, see, for me, obviously, ring work is a big thing for me. Mm-hmm. Unless you're such a great character that you don't necessarily need it to be like at the top level. As long as it's, as I said, it's you can do it well. If you have the character and you can work well in the ring, particularly when it's a character like this, and when you're that over, mm-hmm. It obviously I'm biased. Like, you know, I'm not even denying that a little bit. But I've always been saying, it's, for me, it's character first. Mm-hmm. Unless you're very, very good in-ring wrestler, like Josh Alexander. Josh Alexander hasn't got a huge character, but he's one of the best wrestlers in the world. Mm-hmm. And so I can see it both ways, but Joe Hendry, like, the fact he's getting these reactions when he's been in TNA, it'll be 2 years. Yeah. Bound for Glory, or back in TNA, 2 years Bound for Glory, and he has the biggest momentum in wrestling right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, everyone wants him on their show, and I think he could go to the main roster and get a pop like that. I mean, at the Money in the Bank kickoff, there's "We Believe" signs. We want Joe Hendry signs.
Yeah. Also, for the record, I would like Joe Hendry on this show. So if Joe, if you're listening, or your media agent, or your PR, or whoever, we will accept your presence on this show if you so wish.
I've got the number of the Impact UK PR team.
Just get him on to hear me talk about how average he is in the ring.
It's not impossible, but obviously he's a very busy person.
Yeah, for sure.
He's on every major wrestling YouTube channel there is.
Yeah, that's fair. But if you put it on this one,
I mean, it's worth an ask.
I mean, it'd be nice to just rub it in someone's face who I know who really wanted to get Joe Hendry on their show, and they couldn't do it.
Yeah, it'd be worth an ask, I think.
Yeah. To be fair, I would love the chance to talk. I would love the chance to talk to him or interview him or whatever. But ultimately, as you said, he's a busy guy, and I respect the hell out of him. It's just I don't rate his in the ring that much. That's all. That's all it is.
No, I do get it. Like, I do think for most people it is his character work that they're getting behind the most.
Yeah.
I do think, however, he will win the TNA World Title at Slammiversary, because you've got to capitalise on something like this. Got to.
But then if you do that, you're doing the whole Jordan and Roxanne thing again, where it's champ v champ.
Yeah.
Because I'm assuming again that they're going Ethan Page and Joe Hendry before Trick. So at least, even they could get one defense under his belt before losing it. So if you do that and he wins the Impact World Title, TNA World Title, at Slammiversary, then you're gonna be doing that whole thing over again.
Yeah. But unless it is like a Worlds Collide or a Brawl for All, or Super Brawl, whatever it is.
Brawl for All, just real life boxing.
Oh. Super Brawl.
Just shoot boxing fights.
Brawl. Oh. Let's get Butterbean back in the ring.
Hell yeah. Butterbean versus Lexus King. No, I'm sorry. I'm joking. I don't want that actually. That'll be an actual like concussion or like brain damage or something. Like I don't want physical harm on Lexus.
Yeah, I do think it has to do a joint pay-per-view PLE at some point.
Yeah, where WWE win every match.
Maybe we should book it for them.
You know what? I'm down. I'm down. Let's do a fantasy Worlds Collide show for this, and I'll be WWE side and you be TNA side. I mean, we just throw names at each other.
Coming soon to a YouTube near you.
But which YouTube? Mine? Craig's? Someone else's? Joe Hendry's? But no. Have you got any other thoughts on this show?
Just that, besides the moments, wasn't particularly the best. I thought last week's was slightly better than this week's, but I guess that's because obviously go home last week. But yeah, good enough as a TV show. But saying that, like, lately TV wrestling hasn't been at its best for any company really. Been a bit. You get the occasional banger, but TV wrestling. But the purpose is to build to the PLE. So
yeah.
But don't know when the next one is. But yeah, sure.
That's fair. Yeah. And then we'll just see what happens, I guess.
All we can do.
Exactly. And to be fair, I agree with you. Like, my highest rated match was 2 3/4. Like, the Heritage Cup match should have been an easy 3 stars, at the very least. But no, they had to throw in DJ in and Lexus King, who actively ruins matches. So
if there's one person I don't want to cross the line, it's Lexus King.
You know what? He comes in with a chair on TNA. And then someone just super glues him to the seat, so he's stuck on TNA. So I got to see him in NXT.
But honestly, in terms of like the male roster, I can't think of someone that won't put on at least a good match with him.
Oh, at TNA.
Like, yeah, I can't like genuinely like even Rich Swann put on a good match. I like Rich Swann. So I don't know why I said even Rich Swann. I like Rich Swann.
Can you handle
But,
this? Can you handle this? Can you handle this?
yeah, Trent Seven again could put up a good, a decent match with him.
Yeah.
There's loads of people.
Yeah, they are.
TNA roster is very stacked.
They really are.
Men's roster.
But
Knockout
it is,
divisions need to.
it is 9:30, and I'm aware that you need to go. So, we will probably... Yeah, I think we'll just call it there. I think it's probably the best, because we're pretty much done anyway, and the rest of it will be us just, like, sort of trying to hang on to something that's not there.
Yeah.
So, thank you once again for tuning in. Thank you again for joining me, Craig. If you want to follow Craig and see what he's doing, his Twitter is just there underneath his name. As well as myself, I'm also on Twitter, which is just there, the Breezy. Outside of that as well, the show outlets are Instagram, HCW Show, Facebook, HCW Show, Twitter or X, HCW Show, and Twitch, HCW Show. Twitch gaming is coming soon. I don't know when exactly yet. I've got to just work on a schedule for that sort of thing. But it is coming soon. I've got a few games lined up that I want to do on the stream. Outside of that as well, the video, please like, share, subscribe to the channel, and comment. Do you want to see more of Craig? Do you want to see more? Do you want to see other shows covered on Show Squared? Because I'm more than happy to do other shows, just not MLW. Please, not MLW. I tried before, and it's so hard to watch that show.
Yeah, not the easiest to watch, that one.
But you know, if you want to see me do TNA, hell, I'll watch TNA. I don't watch it currently, but I don't mind watching it. But otherwise, just let me know, because ultimately you guys control the content for the most part. Of course, that doesn't bring an end to the show though. I've been Dan. This here has been this guy here is Craig. I still got the cameras. I've been doing this for about 2 years. I have no idea what the cameras are. I've been Dan. This has been Craig. This has been Show Squared. Thank you all for tuning in, and we will see you next week. Peace.